So I just told you, I want you to communicate with your text. That means I want you to have a conversation. Ask questions. Find the answers. But how do we do that? And what does it mean? Well, first of all, we need to know the question words. There's 5 W question words, and there's 1 H question word. We call this the 5 W's. Notice that they all start with W, but they also start with WH. A lot of our words that start with W don't start with WH. But notice all of the question words start with WH. We want to keep that in mind when we're writing these words because we want to spell them correctly. All right, done with phonology there. Now, what kind of questions can we ask? What kind of questions can we ask? Yeah, I started my sentence with what. That's my first question word. What do you want to do today? What is for dinner? What is that? Those are all questions that we ask throughout the day. There's also questions that start with what, but we'll ask about our reading. How about the next one? Who? Who's that? Who's coming for dinner? Who can help me with my homework? Again, questions that we ask throughout the day. Why? Why do I have to eat my broccoli? Why did you let my sister do it and not me? Why do I have to do my math? Again, why questions. When? When are we going to get there? When's dinner? When do I have to go to bed? When is Grandma coming over? All great when questions. Where? Where are my shoes? Where's my shirt? Where's my whiteboard? Where are we going? Where is Grandma right now? Great where questions. Then we get to how. How am I going to do this? How do I do my math homework? How can I be of help? All great how questions. How are we going to use these questions in our text? Well, first graders are great wonderers. First graders want to know about information because that's how we learn. They're curious about everything around them. So you just get to do what you do naturally. Ask questions. Be curious. Let's look at the text and practice. This text is called How Animals Communicate. Well, without even thinking about the title, what do we notice about the horses? Do you wonder anything? I wonder why the horses look like they're talking. Why are the horses so close together? Where are they right now? When did they take this picture? How did they get the horses to stand so still? Great questions about the horses. Do you have other questions? But now let's look at the title. How Animals Communicate. Oh, hey, I told you I wanted you to communicate with your text, ask questions, answer questions based off of what you're reading. It's because we're having a conversation. We're talking to the text. Even though it can't talk back to us, we're communicating with it. Animals do the same thing. How do animals communicate? Do I have any questions about the title? Yeah. I want to know, how do dolphins communicate? And, why do monkeys make those sounds? So they know that something's happening. And I want to know, how does the sound come out of a dog? And I want to know, where do most animals communicate? Like, do they use their mouths? Do they use their tails? What are they doing? Why do so many animals communicate, but we can't really understand what they're saying? And also, how do I know what my dog's saying? Because I know she's really, really happy sometimes, but I also know she's sad. And I want to know, when do animals communicate? Like, does it happen all of the time? And there's so many questions that are going through my head right now. I want to know all of this. They're not all going to be answered. But because I'm asking the questions, I'm looking for the answers. And that helps me to learn the information. So what I want you to do right now is think of a question before we even read this that you want to know about how animals communicate. Write it on the next slide and make sure it's a complete sentence.